It takes a second for it to go live. All right, now we're up. All right. What's going on, everybody? I got another Spud Club podcast here, and I'm with Mikey and Dave as usual. And let's get into it. So I guess we'll start with Mikey. What you been up to, man? What games you been playing?
So obviously we were doing the Majora's Mask, which been enjoying that with the kiddos. And then I've been actually playing a little like Metrovania side scroller called The Messenger. Have you guys heard of that?
Yeah, I think Dave talked
Yeah,
about it
I
a few
think I
months ago.
downloaded that.
Okay, yeah. I was hearing about it from a buddy, and I finally picked it up, and it's right up my alley. It's been a good game. Playing that one, yeah, Majora's Mask, and then just Call of Duty, normal Call of Duty stuff whenever I can. That's pretty much it.
So is that the Messenger? Is that the one that you can go from like 8-bit to 16-bit?
No. It's mainly just, let me see. I guess it would be an 8-bit graphic style, but yeah, it's just like a side scroller, Metrovania, a lot of like exploration. Um, the music has been really solid, surprisingly. There hasn't been, or there has been like a pretty predominant comedic effect to it with a lot of the dialogue that you encounter. The gameplay has been fun. The controls have been solid, and surprise like it's like a 5-year-old game. So I'm definitely behind the curve on that. But it was free on the PlayStation, the PlayStation subscription. So I picked it up. I heard about it from a buddy because I actually have a new game, Sea of Stars, that came out recently. And so I'm gonna be honest, playing this game, The Messenger, and then seeing the new trailer for Sea of Stars, I was almost disappointed just because I'm not really. I used to play RPG games, like the turn-based fighting games, and
Yeah.
I used to enjoy them. And now, just I don't know. I guess since I've been getting older, I just feel like sometimes having those games, it takes time, which is not a luxury that I have all the time. So, taking turns, or sometimes where a couple of battles can take you, 30, 40 minutes, and it's like, okay, I don't know. That's just like an outsider's perspective. I'm sure once I get into it with the new game, like Final Fantasy, or even some like these new Mario games that are coming up, uh, I'm sure I'll fall back in love with like the turn-based RPG style again. But anyway, yeah, it's really a solid game.
Okay, awesome, good deal. So I guess I should have put this in the beginning. I'm not the best host in the world, but first we're going to talk about what we've been playing lately, most recently, and then we're going to get into both the Nintendo Direct and the Sony State of Play. So should have got into that earlier. Let you all know what we're going to talk about. But Dave, what are you into right now? What are you playing?
Well, like Mikey said, we're doing that Majora's Mask thing, but prior to that, I was in heavy with Tears of the Kingdom, and then before that, finishing up Breath of the Wild. But yeah, I had also picked up Final Fantasy 16. I hadn't really gotten into that. I was wanting to, but I just haven't been able to find the time with stuff going on, personal life lately, but yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. I went all in. I got that new OLED Switch. I got the collector's edition. I got the Pro controller. I just picked up that case, the branded case that was for Tears of the Kingdom. It was on sale half off at Target. Probably because it's kind of a crappy case, but I was like, well, why not? It's $12.
Nice.
So got the amiibos.
That was
I just pre-ordered the Ganondorf and Zelda amiibo from Best Buy yesterday. So I'll have the whole Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom amiibo set.
How much are those?
Well, it depends on the amiibo, but usually about $16.
Well,
I think
much?
Zelda is like $15.99, and then Ganondorf is $19.99.
Okay,
It depends on the size of them, I think.
Yeah, that would make sense, Ganondorf being bigger, but I've thought about getting into the amiibos, but I know that's another rabbit hole that I don't want to go down, and more plastic for me to put on my shelf somewhere. But I'm trying my best to stay away.
Some of them, like, I don't buy every amiibo or anything. There's certain sets that I'll get just because I do like to have that stuff on the shelf to look at. But amiibos are like pretty good quality for the most part. Problem is lately is trying to find them because they've been releasing them in like small batches. So, you know, you get the scalpers and stuff like that, buy them all up, and then you can't, you know, the people who actually want it to collect it can't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But yeah, aside from that,
Did
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Well, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead, Mikey.
Well, I was gonna ask. I was gonna have a follow-up question on Zelda. Did you guys ever discuss Zelda like not offline, but on a separate podcast?
You talking about Tears of the Kingdom?
Tears of the Kingdom, yeah.
Nope, not yet, because I haven't played it yet, so I have nothing to discuss.
I mean, we
Okay.
talked about it a little bit when we did the separate little recording things, but I mean, of course, that didn't pan out or whatever.
Yeah. So the whole idea with that was I was trying to do like a video with y'all's different opinions and us talking about it, but the editing was so freaking difficult. Because like I tried to talk about a topic here that Mikey had kind of touched on, but Dave touched on it, but a little differently. But the context, it would have been a lot more work. So I scrapped it.
Yeah, and let that be a lesson to the kids out there, man. If something's hard, just give up.
I don't know how to do it. I couldn't, man.
I'm just playing.
I know, but that is what I do. I give up immediately. Like, this is tough, and I wasn't having fun. And like the whole reason I do YouTube is to have fun, and it wasn't fun, so I put it away.
Well, that's been my biggest deterrent from not creating a. Yeah. Well, it's been my biggest deterrent from not having a YouTube channel because you've heard. I've heard, especially from like more so like the bigger YouTubers, not Chris. I'm sure you'll get there, but
don't worry about
it. But you know what I mean. Like most people say like it's work. I got to take a vacation from it. You know what I mean? To me that just obviously if you're dependent on an income for YouTube and stuff, totally makes sense. But just to have fun, it's completely different thing.
Yeah, it's a pretty big time investment and a money investment too, depending on what you're, doing the channel about or whatever. Like my unboxing videos and stuff, it was like, well, this is fun, but do I want to keep doing this? So I've just kind of put my stuff on hiatus for a little bit. So a little bit.
Well, so I wanted to
over a year now.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been a year since your last video, and every one of my videos, I've linked your video to my description. I know.
Thanks, man.
I like your channel, but you're not. Apparently, you don't like it.
Hey, I like it.
He just doesn't like him.
I guess I can go into what I've been playing. So if you've been watching my channel or streaming, I've been playing Majora's Mask, which is something we're all doing. But I paid $60 for this cart, and I guess we all discussed what Zelda game we all should play together and finish about the same time, and then we're going to talk about it in a later episode. And you guys chose Majora's Mask, and I was like, oh, perfect. I just bought it. So I'm playing it on the original hardware, and I'm having fun so far. But it's tough for me to find time to get into that game because it's not like you can pick it up and play it for like 5-10 minutes and save your progress and put it away. You gotta like take the time to get a task done and still have time to go save it, and then you can stop playing, if that makes sense. So it's
that is
difficult.
That is definitely the perk. I'm not playing on my, I don't have a Nintendo 64 at the moment, but I do have my original cart, and I got a couple different ways I can play it. But I've been playing it on the emulator on the Switch itself, the Switch Online, and that is definitely a perk to that, is because I can save it whenever I want to. I can make a save state, and then because I don't have, like, I'm not gonna cancel a 3-day cycle just to save my game and quit. It's like, what if I got to get up for a little bit, or I got to go do something? I'm not gonna. It's not like the old days where you just leave your pause the N64 and leave it on until you come back.
Yeah, I don't do that either. Like, I will not leave it running.
The next couple of days.
Not happening. So, but that's how I played Ocarina of Time. I did it on the NSO. It worked. It was fine.
Yeah, I've been very much debating whether I should buy that N64 controller. It is back in stock. At least it was yesterday when I
Ooh.
checked the Switch Online store.
Yeah, if you get
Um,
two, I'll take one because I don't have Switch Online right now.
oh, you don't?
No, but I'd like that controller.
Yeah, I'm really debating
I've had
because
a-
it's like the controls, and I've only been playing in handheld mode on the Switch, so the Joy-Con you can understand the difficulties that arise
Yeah.
in using the Joy-Cons, but the I really think it would be better with the actual original controller in my hand because I'm having some muscle memory issues here
Mhm.
trying to get controls right.
Well,
Like trying to aim the bow and arrow with the Joy-Con thumbsticks
yeah.
is not like super fluid or accurate.
Yeah, I'm
like
not
in the
looking forward to
slightest,
that.
you know.
Well, if you do, like I said, if you do get one, order two, and that obviously just like we did Metroid Prime, I'll shoot you the money, shoot it to my address. But if you can't
Okay.
get that, get the Retro Bit Fighter N64 because it's a Bluetooth wireless. You can put it in your Switch and it'll read it as a Pro controller, and it comes with a dongle you can put in your N64. So that's how I'm playing Majora's Mask, the original everything, minus I'm using a newer controller. It fits. I like it a lot. And the muscle memory is not an issue because I can just, it's the same setup as the N64 controller, but I don't have that third little dongle hanging out, little hand grip that the N64
Oh,
has.
gotcha.
So it'd probably be cheaper too if you got the retro bit. But I do want the N64 Switch controller though, just to have.
Yeah. Because I got those NES ones,
Mhm.
and I really like playing the NES games in the Switch Online with that controller. It's just there's something really cool about it, in my opinion. You know,
Yeah,
but
for sure. So, all right. So that's what we've been playing. I mean, obviously I've been playing the Call of Duties here and there. I'm almost done with Uncharted 4. I kind of been playing that in the background on my little work trips I've been going on, but I probably like 3 hours left in that game. It'll be done, but that's it. So let's get into the Direct, the Nintendo Direct that just happened this last week. So
wait a sec. Mikey's playing Majora's Mask too, yeah. Mikey, what are you playing it on? Are you
Yeah.
playing it on Switch Online, like I am, like a scrub?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I'm cheesing that as much as I can because what's it called? Like the part, like some of the little mini games that you have, I'll save it right before the mini game starts, and if I fail the mini game, I'll just
Oh,
go back.
oh,
to
you're one of them.
oh man,
I like the save state because I like to be able to just save where I'm at and pick it back up, but I don't. Well, maybe I did for like one or two mini games, I guess, but you know.
don't
What
don't lie.
Chris, this is your first time playing it, right?
yeah.
Majora's Mask. What are you
Yeah.
thinking so far? How do you like it so far?
So okay,
'Cause
playing
I watched
Ocarina.
I watched some of your stream. I think it was yesterday's stream,
Yeah, I played last
and you
night.
had comments turned off
No, I didn't.
for some reason. But
You
yeah, that's what it said when I was watching the video.
then you're
But
not
the,
subscribed.
Yes, I am.
Well, the
How
only
dare you?
the only time we turn off is if you're not subscribed, because there's dudes right now in our chat. Run me through. He's in the chat right now. He helps me as I play
Well,
the
maybe
game.
it's because I wasn't watching it live.
Oh
I was
yeah,
watching
you
the,
gotta put. Yeah, no. You gotta pull.
Oh, I
the
thought I'd be able
comments
to
up.
read the comments at least.
Yeah, you can. There's a live thing you put on there. You can watch the comments come in as if they were live. Anyways, I'm liking
Well,
it.
I mean, it told me they were off, so.
I like it so far. I feel this is just I'm in the swamp and I reset the 3-day cycle because I'm about to start the first dungeon in the swamp to go rescue the monkey princess or whoever I'm rescuing. And I feel like this game might be a little bit more straightforward than Ocarina, or maybe I'm more used to the puzzles that Zelda's gonna throw. Because like in Ocarina, I was lost. Like I needed a step-by-step walkthrough. But now I'm kind of like, all right, I need to look in this direction, and I might go the wrong way at first, but then I just get turned back around and go the right way. Like I guess I'm adjusted to it. I still get lost. I still get screwed up, but I'm actually enjoying it more because Ocarina kind of felt like a chore at first until I got the rhythm of it and I understood how the game is played. And now I'm just kind of like adventuring around like you're supposed to in these games. I'm just going on my little adventure and just having fun. So yeah, I'm good. I'm into it.
I've been because I've played it obviously a few times before, all the way through, and there's some things that are just kind of coming back to me. Like some of the different mask quests or how you got to help like certain people and some things like that. So it's like some of it's like, oh wow, I don't remember this part, but some of it's like, oh okay, okay, I'm starting to remember some of these puzzles and stuff because I finished the first dungeon, the swamp dungeon. I'm about to head up to the snow one, I think, is next.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have a whole discussion on
I
it.
kept.
All
Yeah,
right,
because I got some pretty interesting theories to blow your minds with that one. But yeah.
let's wait until I get at least halfway through it, and then we'll.
No, you're good. You're good.
Did you guys watch that video
we'll
I
make a little
shot?
separate video.
Which one?
The terror of the mask or whatever. It's like that short.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that one made me really want to play it. Anyways, yeah. All right, so let's start with the direct. What was the first game there that we want to talk about? There's a lot of games I know we don't want to talk about.
All right, let me pull it up real quick. The list. There was a Splatoon 3 expansion pass, which I mean, if you're into Splatoon, I never really have been. What about you guys?
Nah.
No.
If I'm gonna play a shooter,
Pass,
it's gonna be on my Xbox or PC.
There was Mario vs. Donkey Kong, like a remake of that. It was originally a Game Boy Advance game. It's a kind of a puzzle type game, kind of like Lemmings.
Yeah, that's coming up for $50. I'm not paying $50 for that.
Yeah, I can hear you on that one. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
I am buying that, but not on Switch.
Yeah, that one looked actually really, really cool. I haven't played any of the Prince of Persias, when they were like 3D or whatever, but this one actually looked, again, like another really cool side scroller.
It did look cool, and being an Ubisoft game, I'll probably wait until it goes on sale.
Yeah, it'll be on sale the second week it's out.
Yeah, Ubisoft games go on sale pretty quick. Horizon Chase 2, which is a racing game. I have the first one on Vita, and apparently it's a really good racing game, but I just have it because it was like a super limited release, and that's how I am. Super Crazy Rhythm Castle. I don't remember much about that from the direct itself. I'm just looking at a list right now. Did that pique you guys' interest at all? I think that was like
a Guitar Hero.
Oh, was that what it was?
No, not really. I'm not gonna lie, like the majority of these, except for like maybe 3 or 4, the rest of them did not interest me.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat as you. Spy X Anya, I'm going to take that as a no for both of you guys.
Yeah.
Super Mario RPG, that's a yes for me. I'm definitely interested in that.
I already have that game, and I don't play it. Why am I going to buy it again and not play it?
Well, I'm buying it again because I don't have it.
Yes, you do.
Right now.
Yes, you do.
And it's not on Switch Online.
Yes, you have it. It's on the Super Nintendo Mini Classic.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not going to dig that out and plug it all in.
That's the best way to play it because you got an HDMI right there.
It's a remake.
It's a turn-based game. Like, you can upgrade the graphics, but I don't care because I don't care how fast my frames go because the character sits...
Have you ever played it?
Yeah. When we were on that really long work trip and I sat down and actually tried...
You played through Mario RPG.
I played the first 30 minutes.
Wow.
I did not like it.
It's not really long.
I've actually played through it, and I really enjoyed that game, so I'm looking forward to a update.
Well, I'm glad you are.
Another Code Recollection. No, I don't even remember what that was. Princess Peach Showtime. What do you guys think?
I have a gripe about that one.
Yeah.
So I really feel like that one was probably more of a cash grab. Did you actually watch that trailer?
I did.
So the reason why I say I feel like it's a cash grab is it's not. Obviously they're just using Mario characters. The gameplay is just completely different from like any type of Mario that you've seen. I'm not saying they can't not renovate, but reinvent, some ways that the Mario universe can be played. Of course they can. They can do whatever they want. But I just feel like at the end of the day, they're just using like a Mario skin, or in this case, a Princess Peach skin, to make a different type of game, and they're just using the label of Mario to make more sales. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Mikey, do
the
you know
way
how
I
that
feel
business
is like,
works?
I totally understand that, but as a consumer, it kind of irritates me.
Okay.
Not really. I'm not gonna buy it. Trust me. So it doesn't irritate me that much. But to me, that was my first impression. I felt like that one was a cash grab. Like, oh, let's slap on Princess Peach and it'll make some sales. So
I see how you feel. I get it. But so I had this friend that I worked with years ago, and she one day got all excited the new Tomb Raider was coming out. Like, this is when they redid them to like the 2014, 2015 ones. The newest three, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the second one came out, and she got all excited, and I didn't even know anything about Tomb Raider really, then other than the PS1 stuff. And I asked her, like, why do you care about this game? She goes, oh, because it's a female, like that's the protagonist. Like, that doesn't happen in these games, and this is awesome. Okay, got it. Now, like, the girls can, basically what I'm saying with the Princess Peach stuff, it's not always Mario doing all this stuff. Now females and girls and young girls can look at it like, oh, if a girl can do it too, then like they feel more involved. Does that make sense? So they're finally kind of being a part of it, and so I'm totally cool with it. I don't know if I'll buy it. However, like, I think this is long overdue for them to do a main Peach game. I don't think I've ever done it.
If there's a demo, which hopefully there will be, I will definitely try out the demo. And, depending on that, I may or may not be interested in getting the Princess Peach Showtime. But there was a Super Princess Peach on the DS or the 3DS once upon a time.
It doesn't count.
And it used the powers of her emotions. So I don't think that went over very well.
They used the female emotions as the power.
Yes.
No,
so like her anger or crying or anything like that. Yeah. So that was
I remember
a game.
that.
But it's on the 3DS. It doesn't count. It's not a mainline console.
So, and this would
I
be
don't
my
know.
rebuttal.
Nintendo considers their handhelds in their mainline family.
I don't.
Okay.
This would be my only rebuttal to that. So even with like the new, what is it? I don't think it's Super Mario Bros. But I think it's like New Mario Bros. Or New Mario Brothers, whatever. Like in the past like 5, 10, well, more like 10, 15 years, you can actually pick your character to where it's Toad, Toadette, Peach, Daisy.
Blue Toad, Yellow Toad.
Yeah, you don't have to play as Mario or Luigi like at all. But I will say I'm sure there's some people out there, because this is not going to be a hill that I'm going to die on. So, I'm not gonna
Mikey
come out
hates
swinging.
Princess Peach.
Mikey hates women.
Not what I'm saying. But
Too late.
whatever. So, Peach, have your showtime. Go for it.
I get your point. That's a good point. But yeah, like Dave, if it's good, I'll buy it. If it's on sale.
Yeah. If it actually gets like a good review, because there has been games where I've been like, oh, I'm a hard pass on that, and it actually comes out and it gets like a, between an 8, 9, or 10 on IGN. Not saying that I'm like super hardcore with IGN, but obviously if the reviews are skyrocketing and everyone just absolutely loves the game, I could change my mind and check the game out, So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah.
What's next?
Let's see. Next was Saga Emerald Beyond. That's an RPG series. I don't think you guys have any interest in that. Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered. That's the original trilogy, which that looks pretty cool. I might check that out, because it's been so long since I played through any of those games, and those controls were terrible back in the day.
And the visuals were incredibly bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, back in the day, it was like, whoa, she's so real looking. But now you look at it, it's like she looks like a cardboard box.
Is this exclusive to Switch, or will this come out?
I don't think so. I don't think it's exclusive. I think I saw something about it coming out to other consoles as well.
If I get this, it'll probably be on my Xbox, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same. I'm probably not going to get it on Switch. I'll probably get it on PlayStation.
I'm probably going to get it. That's what I'm saying. It looked awesome. I love the idea, or when they do this, because they did this with the Master Chief collection, or at least the remaster for Halo 2, where you can go to old graphics and with a click of a button see the new remastered graphics, and that's really neat. Like,
that was a cool feature of. I think they did it for the first one as well. The re-release. Of
I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, doing the CE. So, anyways, I'm gonna get it eventually on something.
And we all know how Mikey feels about
women
games that star women. So
don't even ask.
Just burn them.
Seems like all week Mikey can't do anything right.
Oh, Mikey, we only pick on you because we love you.
And it's easy.
I know.
Yeah, it's super easy. Detective Pikachu returns.
Nope.
I don't know. I'm not huge on Pokemon anymore.
I won't even watch the movie. You don't even have to do anything when you watch the movie.
The movie was all right, actually. I did enjoy the movie. I watched it at one point with my kids. It was pretty good. Trombone Champ. I don't know
if this is like a $10
recollection of that.
I would. It's got to be cheap, because this is just like one of those party games, or like you play it when you're super bored type game. That's it.
Oh, okay. Battle Crush and then War Tales. I don't know anything about those two. They obviously didn't catch my attention during the direct, so I don't know if you guys have any input.
Nope.
Contra Operation Galuga. That looks pretty cool. A new Contra game.
It's a Konami game. Manage your expectations.
Well, Konami used to be one of the good ones back in the day. So,
used to be.
I mean, we'll see. Unicorn Overlord.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, sounds cool. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. That I'll probably check out, just because it's been a long time since I played the original.
Depending on the price.
Did you guys play the first one?
No. I've been looking for it on GameCube, but I haven't found it for a decent price yet. But I have the third, and I've yet to touch it. So I don't know if I should buy the second. I really enjoyed
the Luigi's Mansion series. Those are really fun games, and I did have that back in the day on the GameCube. I no longer have it, but
yeah, because I played it. You know, it was probably, I think I rented it probably about a year or two, maybe 3 years after it came out, and then I actually sat down and played it, and it wasn't bad. It took me a minute to like actually get into it, but it wasn't bad. And then I never played the second or the third or any of the spin-offs or whatever, but I had a feeling that my wife would actually kind of be into that, so we watched the trailer together, and she's like, I don't think it's my type of game.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind at least checking it out, so I'll probably, I might not get it right away, but at least get it when it goes on sale.
Yeah. There was a weird little trailer for the Nintendo Museum that they're building in Japan, like right in the middle of all these game announcements. So, I mean, that was cool, and I'm not.
Yeah, that was cool.
I'm not going to fly to Japan to see it, but
if I go there for a work trip,
I mean, if I happen to be there, I probably will.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
There was upcoming Amiibo figure. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, just on the Nintendo Museum, there was a YouTuber that my wife watched that she just went there, and there's a lot of like really unique, cool knickknacks, keychains, shirts, hats, all kinds of like memorabilia and stuff that you can purchase. So obviously, if it suits you, or maybe if you can ship from Japan or what have you, that'd be pretty cool to check out. But anyway, upcoming Amiibo features or figurines.
Yeah, so I had mentioned earlier the Zelda and Ganondorf. Those are coming out in November. They also announced the final Smash Amiibo, Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Then there was two others I think they talked about from probably Fire Emblem characters or something like that.
Xenoblade Blade or something, It didn't pique my interest.
No, but the Zelda and Ganondorf definitely I'm going to get.
So
But
I've got two questions on those amiibo. Well, kind of related to the amiibo. What did you, Dave? Since you did play Tears of the Kingdom, what were your thoughts on the design? And since you played Zelda throughout the years, what was your thoughts on the design of Ganondorf in Tears of the Kingdom, like
I
his
thought he looked
outfit and
awesome.
stuff?
I
Yeah.
thought he looked cool. Because he comes from a time that's supposedly super prehistoric, even to the, you know, like to the entire Zelda timeline. So I don't know where that fits in. Where Ganondorf used to be, like the one from Ocarina is the same one from Wind Waker, is the same one from Twilight Princess. This seems to
Mm,
be a completely separate Ganondorf. And on that matter, it's a completely separate thing from Calamity Ganon as well. I was hoping for some kind of explanation to all that, and they acted like it didn't happen. So I don't know.
that was
The timeline continuity in these Zelda games sometimes drives me a little crazy because it's like, oh yeah, we leave a lot of it up to interpretation or whatever. It's like, well, no, don't do that. Tell me the story that you want to tell, you know?
Yeah.
And if you want it to be
yeah,
separate, then don't make it a direct sequel. But that's just my
yeah.
opinion. I'm a stickler for
Well, this
storylines and stuff.
no, and that makes complete sense because honestly, I think I've said it on the podcast before, and I'll say it again. It's I have such respect for like the way Marvel, like the MCU, did their storytelling because one, they went in there with a plan and they knew what they were gonna do, and they were going to make stuff make sense, or not make it make sense, but they were gonna make sure that it made sense.
Yeah.
No matter how ridiculous, you could watch a movie from 10 years ago, from 10 years ago, and there's a callback all the way until like up and 13 years later. There's a callback to that movie, some time ago, and unfortunately, I think it makes sense for the times, whether it was cinema or games or movies here, not movies here, but like TV shows, stuff like that. Because I think a lot of people, and understandably so, a lot of people that make games, they don't plan on making. They could barely get one off the ground, So to plan to make several games, say that one is a huge success, and now they have to make a bunch of story to uh, try to fit it into a sequel and make it make sense. It's understandable that they have to do a lot of like, oh well, what if this happened or what if this happened, and then you kind of look in retrospect and it's kind of like, well, that doesn't really make sense, but I can see where you're kind of going with that. Just almost like in the Zelda, like you were saying with the Zelda timelines and stuff.
Hmm.
Because actually something that I noticed with like playing Ocarina of Time again, because I just finished that before we started Majora's Mask. But if you, so it went Link to the Past, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, but it went Link to the Past and then Ocarina of Time, like a few years later, correct?
Well, it depends because I mean, this is one of those things where that drives me crazy with Nintendo. They didn't even care to do a timeline until a few years ago. And then when they did do a
Yeah.
timeline, there's like three separate branches of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, off the top of my head, I don't know if Link to the Past is before or after Ocarina at this point, but I know at Ocarina,
No,
that's where the
now,
timeline splits into three.
yeah. Well, and necessarily, not necessarily like chronologically in the storytelling aspect, but like like within, because I think what Link to the Past was like 1994 that it was released, or
Yeah,
1992 or
something like
something like
that,
that,
early 90s.
and then Ocarina of Time was like 97, and I don't know if there was any games in between that.
I think
That you,
Link's Awakening. I think Link's Awakening was the one
oh,
right
okay,
before,
okay,
not right before, but the one that came out in between the two.
okay, okay. Well, I was gonna say, so playing Ocarina of Time again, you look at like the story, not like specifics and not the details and everything, but it's pretty much Link to the Past without like the dark world and all that stuff, but it's pretty much Link to the Past. Just obviously with like more like obviously instead of the dark world, it's time travel. You know what I mean? But there's still the 6 ages that you have to awaken, and send Ganon back to the sacred realm or whatever. But they use that because it was such a popular storyline, and that game, The Link to the Past, did so well. But now, anyway, taking that and putting that on pause, and taking games like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom, I think they were trying to make a more concrete story in Breath of the Wild. This was my first impression, which this is kind of why I didn't really care. I've only played that game once, and I didn't really care to play or pick it up again, just because, this may sound a little controversial, but I feel like Breath of the Wild was a little tasteless compared to like most Zelda games, because there was really no set theme. And I'm sorry to go on a tangent of this Breath of the Wild thing, but I felt like it was very tasteless. It was lacking in theme. The music was the music was good. Obviously, there was a big, uh, composition and all that other stuff. But I will say it was like lacking theme. Does that make sense? Does that resonate with you at all?
My opinion on Breath of the Wild is vastly different now than it was when we've spoken about it before in the past. Ever since I finally sat down to play it and like actually stuck through it, and it finally clicked with me. I loved every second of it. I'm gonna tell you. At first, I didn't care much for it, but there was like a sense of adventure, like a sense of awe that I don't think I saw the first time I played it or tried to play it, and that did finally grab me when I sat down and played it right before Tears of the Kingdom came out. And I just I fell in love with it, honestly. And now I'm playing like Majora's Mask, and I'm like, yeah, I got to do the dungeons in a specific order. I have to, I don't have the freedom that I've grown accustomed to. But that's just my quick little opinion on it.
Yeah, no. Of course.
And I liked the lore that we did get out of that game. Like it was at that point the most current Zelda game in the timeline. A more modern day, quote unquote, Zelda. I like the lore, behind the divine beast and all the Sheikah tech and all that stuff. Yeah. But I think it was the sense of freedom that really grabbed me with that game.
Yeah. Yeah. And I actually, after playing, because I almost had, that's why I wasn't really drawn at first to Tears of the Kingdom. And then there was the dude at GameStop that was like, he's like, bro, if you like Twilight Princess and you like, if you like Breath of the Wild, he's like, you're gonna love this. And he was trying to sell me on it, and he was
obviously, like, I mean, it's nothing like Twilight excited. Princess.
Yeah, that's why I saw some of the horseback fights that they had, and I was like, but this was the way they orchestrated the trailer, and I was like, okay, that, I could see where you could say that it kind of looks like Twilight Princess, especially like with a lot of the horseback fights that you have in that game. But anyway, so I ended up getting it and playing Tears of the Kingdom. It was, to me, I enjoyed like the temples a lot more, and I felt like it did. It had a little bit more personality, and those initial feelings that I got with Breath of the Wild kind of went away, and I think it was just with like having your sword break or having your shield break or having certain things not as you can pick your clothing and all that other stuff. After I got past that initial feeling or whatever, or I don't know, whatever it was, I actually tended to enjoy Tears of the Kingdom a lot, like very much. I put so many hours into that game, and so now with that being said, I kind of want to go back and play Breath of the Wild again, so that way I can maybe give it like a second chance, give it like a second look, and then just be like, oh, here's where I could see where everyone fell in love with Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild is a really good game, there was just a lot of like nitpicking stuff that I had for it when I first played, and I'm sure if I was to go back and play it after Tears of the Kingdom, have had some really good appreciation for it,
Yeah.
But anyway, big tangent. I just wanted to get your thoughts on some things, and so.
Nice.
Right.
Well,
But
what
yeah,
else was on the direct?
We're on F-Zero.
Next was after the Amiibo figures F-Zero 99, which is available now. It's kind of like a Tetris 99 type thing, but obviously F-Zero.
Have you guys tried it?
I have not tried it yet. Maybe I'll do that after we get off here.
I think that'd be fun. If I had the NSO again, because I'm so sick of these.
Yeah, you gotta have to switch online.
Yeah, these subscription things, man. Like, I can't keep spending $50 a year on that. So I turn it off.
I think it's a pretty good deal, honestly.
Yeah, but I also have the Game Pass.
I did the family pass.
I have too much. So
I did the family pass. So
I was
it's like $80 a year for me and like everybody in my family who has a Switch, which is pretty much everyone.
yeah.
So
yeah. Well, that's what I was going to tell you, Chris. If you wanted to, because I've got, let me see, 1, 2, 3. I've probably got like 5 more slots left for like the family pass, So if you wanted to jump on and not have to pay as much.
Oh, how much do you want?
Go.
Come on.
Mikey is much more generous than
I am. Yeah, he is. How much do you want, Mikey?
I mean, you can throw in like $10.
I can. He didn't say I had to, so no, yeah. Well, we'll talk about it after the pod.
You shall throw in.
Now is not the time to be a cheap ass, Chris.
It's always time.
Here. Well, fine. You shall throw in $15. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah,
learning.
It just upped the price.
There it is. No, that's fine. That's fair. We'll iron out the details and whatnot and figure it out later. But yeah, we should all get on and do like a I don't know if you can play with your friends, but we can try to play together on that.
I think you can do like a party thing. At least with Tetris 99, you can do like a party thing.
Yeah.
I do enjoy Tetris 99. I've been playing a lot of that lately, actually.
Yeah, that's going away, by the way. Tetris 99 is going to be done in October.
Is it?
Yep.
Like the servers?
What?
That's
like
weird because it's
servers down, or
yeah.
Oh wow,
that's weird because that Mario 99 was timed too, and I think what was it? There was another 90. Yeah, Pac-Man 99. I'm surprised because Tetris 99 is a lot of fun. I'm not very good at it, but it's a lot of fun. The next 2 games were 2 League of Legends stories. So I guess little side stories for League of Legends.
I'm not a League of Legends fan. Obviously, I don't understand it. I've tried to, but I don't get it. But that game in the snow with the girl and that monster, they're like working together. That actually piqued my interest a little bit. It looks pretty neat.
Yeah, I'm also not a League of Legends guy, so I didn't really pay too much attention to them because I don't want to get into one of them and then be like, well, here I go down this rabbit hole and then have to play every single League of Legends thing there is, because that's just kind of the way I operate.
Yeah.
There was a WarioWare Move It, which I do like the WarioWare games, but this one is one of the gimmicky ones where you got to like jump up and move around and stuff, and I'm not into that.
Nope. Yeah. I've never played a WarioWare game. I'll keep it that way.
They're actually kind of fun. I still have one on the Game Boy Advance that I play relatively often.
When did it first? Well, here, maybe I'll look this up. When did it first come out? The WarioWare games.
WarioWare
64.
Well, I mean, I have one on the Game Boy Advance, so I don't know.
Let me see. Let's check it out. It looks like 2003. So WarioWare, on the Game Boy Advance. And then I think the one that I played was either Smooth Moves or Mega Incorporated. But yeah, it was. I thought those games were actually pretty fun. I mean, obviously they can get old pretty quick just because you run through the same mini games, a couple of times.
Yeah, it's a party game. It's not like really I guess not the kind of game you're supposed to play by yourself or whatever. But
right, yeah. But yeah, they were fun. I enjoyed them.
Next game was Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. Any interest in
Nope.
that one for you guys?
Man.
Okay. There's Eastward, Octopia DLC. No, I don't know. A new Wargroove game. No, not for me. Oh, another Wargroove game, Wargroove 2. No, sorry, I've got a duplicate on my list here. A game called Dave the Diver, which does look cool. It's got some cool, like, charming looking little graphics, but
Yeah.
otherwise I don't know too much about it.
So I guess this blew up on Steam
When'd you
recently.
pick up diving,
I guess you kill fish, and then you serve them at your restaurant. So you have to run a restaurant and also have like a fishing game. I'm gonna pass on it.
Yeah, it's like an RPG, and then you go and catch all the fish and stuff too. It's like a restaurant sim. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass Wave 6, the final wave.
Yep.
So there's some new tracks and Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, and I think what was her name from Pauline, yes. Those are going to be the new racers.
They could have picked so much better.
Funky Kong would be pretty cool to.
Well, I mean, who at this point? How many other people do you want in Mario Kart? You know, it's like we got.
What about Banjo?
We got Birdo. We got. Oh yeah, well, I guess
He'd probably have more of a place in Smash.
Well, yeah.
Isn't he in Smash?
He is in Smash. Yeah. But Banjo isn't necessarily a Nintendo character like Donkey Kong.
Okay, how about Ganondorf?
He's a rare character.
Where's Ganondorf at?
Yeah, I mean,
so
but he's not
Mario,
really a Mario character.
Like, come on. I don't know. Cappy. Cappy would have been cool. Like, who knows Pauline? Pauline hasn't been relevant since 1988. You know?
She was in Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, because they forced it.
Section of it.
Oh my god.
They didn't force it. She was the mayor.
Yeah, and New Donk
wasn't
City.
She in the movie as well?
I don't.
She might have had a cameo.
She might have made it. Yeah, she might have had a cameo.
Okay.
I don't know.
Among Us.
Lame.
There's new content for Among Us.
Yeah, that's passed.
There's a sizzle reel which just showed all the stuff that we just talked about, and Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door re-release.
Okay.
Or remake or whatever.
So
that was on the GameCube, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was
the sequel because the first one was on Nintendo 64.
Yeah, it was Paper Mario, then Thousand Year Door, then Paper Mario Thousand Year Door on GameCube, and then they got like 4 or 5 others. Okay, I don't get this. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm personally not gonna pick it up because it's kind of like Super Mario RPG in a sense, and it's not the same game as like a regular Mario goes. But I don't. Why would they choose this one and not the original on the like the original Paper Mario from N64? Because Paper Mario Thousand Year Door still looks good.
Is Paper Mario the original one on N64? Is that on the Switch Online?
I think so.
It might be.
I don't know. I don't have
that might be why. One thing that kind of gets me is like these Mario RPG type things. It's like obviously Mario RPG was first, and then Paper Mario was kind of a spiritual successor in a different style and stuff like that because Squaresoft at the time wasn't involved. And then there was the Mario and Luigi series on, mostly portable.
Yeah.
Well, I think all portable, but that was a fun series. I really enjoyed that one. But so Mario has like kind of its own little family of like RPG titles to go off of. But
I don't know. I feel
Did you guys ever play the Mario and Luigi saga?
No.
I love the Mario and Luigi games.
Go ahead.
I have all of them.
So I feel like.
Well,
I'm sorry, Mike. I think you got a bit of a delay, but I think there's been like a huge lack of like Donkey Kong games. The last one we got was Tropical Freeze, and I feel like instead of them redoing another game from the GameCube, like how many are we getting right now? We got like Luigi's Mansion 2's coming out, and then Thousand Year Door, and we got Metroid Prime. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, instead of redoing all these games, can we get another 3D Donkey Kong game? That'd be really interesting to me. Like, I want to see the spin on that nowadays. I don't know.
I agree.
Well, and it kind of
No,
Go
no,
ahead,
go ahead, Mikey. You've been cut off like 5 times in a row.
well, thank you. Well, and that, yeah, I agree because and this is where I feel like Nintendo. I don't know what all game studios go with Nintendo because it's not like Xbox or PlayStation or even PC or whatever. They have like set studios that work under PlayStation or Xbox or whatever. Um, does that does that sound pretty accurate or am I misrepresenting Nintendo? Do you guys think?
I'm
No, I
sorry.
mean Nintendo doesn't do everything internal, but
Mm-mm.
I think they do a lot of most stuff internal. Like
Well,
at
that's what.
least for
Well,
their
so
properties, their main properties.
yeah, and that's I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that proportion, but it's also kind of like, well, at this day and age, shouldn't you guys be starting up like your own, like developer studios to where you guys are able to like, hey, like you guys are working on Donkey Kong, um, you know, uh, pick a title. You know what I mean? You guys are working on Donkey Kong. You guys are working on Kirby. You guys are working on Mario. Instead,
Well,
I feel
Kirby
like,
is HAL Labs, I think.
yeah,
HAL
true.
does the Kirby games, and Rare used to do the Donkey Kong games.
I think it's Retro now, which the
Is it
Retro
Retro
Studios.
Studios?
Well, I think that's what it was with Donkey Kong Country Returns and maybe Tropical Freeze. I know obviously they brought back Retro Studios for Metroid Prime 4, which I was sadly disappointed that that wasn't on here. But you know what I mean? Like I feel like they should just be at least start taking all this because Nintendo's they're the best-selling console. The merchandise is beyond beyond a shadow of a doubt making millions every year. Um, you know what I mean? They have all this money and all this investments and return that they could be uh, putting putting into creating developer teams, to work on certain games. Just like Chris said, we're seeing either a lot of games that don't appeal to a wide variety audience, or we're seeing remasters, or then we get or we have like the hits, like obviously Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Odyssey, the Kirby games, Mario Kart. You know what I mean? We'll get those to last us over. The way it has been like 4 or 5 years, and then we just get remakes and remasters and HDs and old retro game ports to hold us over in the meantime. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. In that regard, I feel like, and I'm kind of interested to see what you guys think about everything I just said, but I feel like Nintendo needs to step it up.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they're. Go ahead.
I'm kind of annoyed that we still haven't gotten Twilight Princess or Wind Waker on the Switch. If they've done so many of these re-releases and remasters, it seems like a kind of no-brainer to do that. Because why would they do Skyward Sword? Out of the three of
Yeah,
those, why would they do Skyward Sword?
I
It's
think.
not the best one.
because that came out back in 13, right?
Yeah, that's the most recent one. You
Yeah, I think
know,
it was because of the
Yeah.
controls. People really didn't like playing through it with the Wii motion controls, and so they fixed that going on with the
well,
Switch.
yeah, those were terrible.
Yeah, I think that might have been the main reason because you can still play Wind Waker and Twilight Princess like just fine with a GameCube controller. Well, not Wind Waker because you can't change the invert the controls. So yeah. Anyways,
Well, that's only if you can find it. And
well,
that's what I'm talking about.
find
Like
Wind
if
Waker.
you don't have the means to, yeah, if you don't have the means to play it now, you know, on one of the or on the original, what was it on GameCube?
Yeah,
If you don't have the means, if you don't have a GameCube and you don't have that game, you can't play that game now, Wind Waker, unless you emulate it,
yeah.
which Nintendo frowns upon, but they're not doing anything to make it
So
available,
let me get your opinion on this. Do you guys think that they should, um, just the way they ported over what NES, SNES, 64, Sega, all these things? Do you think it's possible? And if it is possible, do you think they would um, port over like GameCube titles, just like they did Nintendo Switch Online?
Well, they probably don't do that because they figure they can make a whole new physical release or standalone release and then call it a day. Like the Pikmin games. Pikmin 4 just came out, and then
Mhm.
Pikmin 1 and 2 came out in a set, you know. And those were GameCube games.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they would put the investment in, because I think the Switch might be coming near to the end of its lifespan.
Oh, with
I mean,
the
it'll
Switch
probably
2 or
still
whatever it
be,
is.
yeah, whatever they're going to call it, or if it even is a Switch type thing. But I mean, obviously it'll still be in play for a few more years, but they're going to start phasing that out eventually, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, from a business perspective, I totally understand. You know, you don't want to port all of your highly desirable games onto a subscription service. You know, because then obviously, you know, $50 a year, $80 a year, or $20 a month, or $10 a month, whatever it is. You know, you're gonna lose money in the longevity compared to repackaging it as 40, 50, $60 game and making you know several millions from a repackaged game. From that business perspective, I totally understand, but it's also like, if you're worried about it that much, do what PlayStation did: up your subscriptive service to, you can do different tiers and stuff like that, and then still make that type of profit and just offer a lot more. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
Because
kind of
that's
what they did with the Switch Online plus expansion pass,
Yep.
because
yeah.
there is the two different tiers of the Switch Online, and I like the convenience of having all those NES and Super NES and Game Boy and all those other games on there. I like that, but I know that subscription service isn't going to last forever, and then we're back to square zero with
Yeah.
trying to play these games unless you own them physically. Now, I think the most ideal situation for me would be is if they released a physical copy, like, hey, here's our Nintendo collection, all on one little cart. Here's our Game Boy and Game Boy Advance collection, the Super Nintendo collection, even the Sega Genesis collection, which Sega has done several times over the years on several different consoles, with their physical Sega Genesis collection games. So I always have those now,
Yep.
but
That would be really cool, but they would never do that.
no.
Like, I think the most they
Because
do
if they
is
can keep making
4.
money off it, they're going to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm just looking at my shelf now, and on one shelf I have 3 different copies of Super Mario World in 3 different forms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got you 3 different times.
Yeah. Well, I have the Super Mario All-Star with Super Mario World. I have the original cart I got when I was a kid, and then I have it on my the classic
Super
console.
NES Classic.
Yeah, the mini.
Yeah.
But, all right. Yeah, I don't know if they're ever going to do the whole GameCube thing. I don't think they will. If they do, maybe they'll do it on the next console, the Switch 2. But I think also if they
The biggest sign for me, though, is that they keep releasing these individual GameCube titles.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, but if they release one on the NSO, then we're going to expect 10. So they're not going to do that. So, and it's probably not easy to port. Like, it's probably, obviously, it's way easy to port like an NES game, and then a little harder for Super, then even more, a little harder for N64. So the newer the titles, the harder it's going to be to port. There's more involved. So that's probably why they're not doing it.
I'm obviously not a programmer. I'm
Yeah.
not a software developer or anything like that. But they made the things to begin with. There has to be even if it's just emulating, the game, they should be able to figure it out. I don't think it's a matter of difficulty as so much as a matter of perhaps laziness or not thinking that they'll get a return on investment.
Yeah.
Which sucks. It makes sense, but it still sucks.
Well,
for the consumer, you know what I mean?
Do what I'm doing and buy the original stuff. Like, I just spent a shit ton of money on Zeldas that I will hopefully get through, but now I have it forever. I'm not worried about Nintendo bringing it out or not because I have it. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have like almost all the Zeldas physical on the originals, and then I just don't have a means to play them right now
It's buy a Wii.
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, I had a Wii once.
A new gen
I think
Wii
it's
right now,
paid
or
for Wii.
first gen Wii's like $80 right now.
Is it? Yeah. Well, hopefully all the cords come with it and a little flat cover.
Yep.
Little sensor bar.
Yeah.
That's not much, not bad. All right, well, what's next
Yeah,
on
they
the
did not-
direct?
Oh, the direct is that was
was
it.
it?
Thousand Year Door was
Okay.
the last thing they showed. That
So-
was their surprise. Hey, we've got one more thing to show you.
Well, we haven't talked about Mario Wonder yet. Y'all interested in that?
It looks weird to me, but I'll probably try it out. Hopefully, like I said with the Princess Peach game, there's a demo.
Yeah.
My son is super excited for it.
Yeah, mine too.
Did you guys see, on that note, did you guys see that the original voice actor is retiring?
Yeah, I don't care though. I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
I'm wondering what.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mario's
He
not
probably-
retiring.
I don't know if he raised a stink because Chris Pratt voiced Mario in the movie or what, but this seems kind of like a thing that's like, okay, well, you're not going to be Mario or any of the other characters you voiced before anymore, but we'll make you,
The
Mario
ambassador.
ambassador,
or
Yeah.
whatever that means.
I think it
You
means he
know.
goes to like Comic-Con and signs autographs and still he can
He
get
does
paid
that
for
anyway.
Yeah, but he can still get paid for it and like
Yeah.
use the trademark, you know? Like Nintendo is probably just giving him that. And he got to retire eventually. He's
Yeah.
looking in his mid to late 60s there.
Yeah.
I didn't really
He's
care.
got-
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go over some questions real
Yeah.
quick before we start the Sony State of Play. So run me through. He had asked a question here. Hang on, I gotta find it. Talking about Wind Waker. All right, have you all played a lot of Zelda games? Do you usually 100% them or just beat them to the finish? So I'll go first with the least amount of Zelda time. I will play the game until the credits roll and then I put it down. That's me.
Yeah. I will try to. I don't think I've ever really 100%ed any Zelda. Like even with Tears of the Kingdom, I've gotten very, very close. And
Bro,
the way I
after
was
you beat Tears
trying-
of the Kingdom, it shows you the percentage on the screen. I'm only in like the 60
Oh.
percentile.
For which
So,
one?
Really?
It's like they're Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, okay.
Now, does it show like shrines and all that stuff, or?
Yeah, it's all the stuff that I don't think that the Koroks count towards the percentage, but like even with
Oh, okay.
like all that.
All right, so no,
'Cause I
none
think I
of us
have
will
about
100% it.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like, I would get so close, and even with Ocarina of Time, I was like, oh, maybe I can 100% this. I'll probably get about 80% of the way, and then I'll just lose interest. It's like I'm already so close to beating the game, and then I beat the game, and I'm like, I don't really want to go back and try to 100% it because I don't know. It loses its thrill,
Yeah, I agree.
in my opinion.
I've never 100% of a game. So,
For me, for Zelda games, right? If I really like the Zelda game, if it's one of the top tier Zelda games for me, I will 100% it. Probably not the first go around, but eventually I'll end up replaying it, and I'll because I've 100%ed Ocarina, I've 100%ed Majora's Mask, Link's Awakening, which is one of my all-time favorite games, let alone favorite Zelda games. I've 100%ed that on the Game Boy and the Game Boy DX and the Link's Awakening remake. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I would love to 100%, but I'm not chasing down 900 plus Koroks. I'll do all the shrines.
Yeah, no.
I'll do all the shrines. I'll get all the hearts and the stamina. I'll get the weapons and stuff that I care about and the armor, but I'm not going to 100% every little side quest. It's just too big. It's too big,
Well, I got.
But I
Let me
mean, I
see. I
guarantee,
did
like
all
if
the.
I was to plug in my copy of Ocarina that I got on the shelf down there and my copy of Majora's Mask, I probably still have 100% save files on them
Nice.
if the battery's still good. But a Wind
Yeah,
Waker, I
I think
100%ed.
Majora. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna try to 100% Majora. Well, now 100% Majora is, I mean, obviously the hearts, and that's just collecting all the masks. Would that be considered 100% it?
Yeah, all the masks, all the songs, all the little quests,
Oh, okay.
all the equipment upgrades like the quivers and the bomb bags and all that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
So it's like all the
Yeah,
it's
because
pretty
I
much
don't
everything
think
because it's not a super huge game when you really think about Majora's Mask like that. You know, it just seems big because you're
Yeah.
doing that same 3-day cycle over and over and over again. You know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you
I
want to
know.
start the state of play?
Oh, is
Yeah.
Mikey saying something? Mikey?
Just pretty much. Yeah. What's it called? With Majora's Mask, like as soon as it's kind of a bummer because some things like that Deku scrub that you have to go and get the flower for. You have to go and get the moon tier like every time. Now, and I could be
Yeah.
wrong because it's been a while since I've played it, but stuff like that, it's like okay, you would think that they would have like a shortcut that you can just, hey, I've got your deed before, let me pass type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
But
I don't know. That's one of those things. You don't have to talk to him at first. I mean, if you know what to do, you can go straight and do it. And you can get into that observatory from outside the city as well. So if you have a means to get over there, you can get in there, get the moon tier, and then run right back without having to go through the little mini dungeon or whatever you got to go through to get to it or talk to
yeah,
anybody. Yeah, and plus, you know, you can slow the day down too. You guys know that, right?
Yeah.
If you okay,
yeah.
which that
Chris,
is
the
pretty
first
helpful.
yeah, I think when you were ignoring the scarecrow on the first time you were playing it, and I was like stop ignoring him.
Yeah, it's like talk to him. He's got some good information.
Oh, you
for
mean on Majora's Mask?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna
You're
tell
like,
me.
dude, shut up.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna tell me how to slow down time. Yeah, so you just gotta play that song backwards. Yeah, but he was telling me that before I even had my ocarina. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I knew that. I got that part. But I'll listen to him next time.
That's funny.
All right. Want to talk about the direct or the state of play?
Yeah. Yeah, let's get into that. Okay, so there was this weird looking game called Baby Steps.
What
which
the
was
F
first.
was that? How do you
Yeah,
open
that
a
was weird.
direct or a state of play like that? Like what?
I don't know, man.
All
I
right.
don't know at this
I
point.
gotta open it with something.
Yeah, and it was long too. Like once I realized like what I was seeing and that I wasn't going to see much more, I started skipping it.
Yeah.
And I was like, geez, Louise, how long is this presentation for this Baby Steps game? But then there was Roblox on PlayStation. Don't care. Ghostbusters: Rise of the Ghost Lord, which is a PSVR 2 game, which I would think would be cool, except it's a VR only multiplayer game.
Yep.
Which kind of turns off any interest that I have. The next two, Mikey might be able to give some insight on, is the Resident Evil 4 VR mode, which I mean, I guess that's pretty self-explanatory. But a Resident Evil 4 also Separate Ways DLC, which I guess he plays Ada Wong or whatever in that one. Is that am I correct on that, Mikey?
Yeah, I can't remember what you guys had said before, but have you guys both played that game or no?
Nope.
No.
Or the remake at all?
I've never played a Resident Evil, nor will I.
Yeah, well, especially with this remake, definitely pick it up. That's one of those. There's a reason why they ported it to the. Let me see. It was on the GameCube and then the PS2, PS3, PS4, Wii. It might have been on the Wii U. I don't know.
It is the most popular
PS5.
Resident Evil game, isn't it? Or considered the best or something like that. Oh.
I think that game paved the way for so many other games. But if you guys have you guys played Dead Space?
Dead Space?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, I played a little bit of it.
Okay.
It's a little spooky for me. But yeah.
Yeah. So you'll it's the same style, and obviously they pulled a lot from Resident Evil 4. So if you guys like that game, you'll definitely like the game. But yeah, so as far as like the Separate Ways DLC, I saw that, and of course I was excited for it because um, that was one of the like cooler gaming moments that I've had. Because the regular game itself is completely awesome. But then you go, and in that DLC, I don't know how they're gonna. I'm sure they're probably gonna keep it the same. But in the original, when you have that when you have that DLC, you can actually see Leon, the main character in the main story. You can see him in the background, like actively fighting the monsters. And if you just finish the story, and you're kind of like the feeling that I got was like, hey, that was me, like, and it was so cool to see that there was another, like, of course it was like it was a computer going around shooting all the monsters or whatever, but it was just so cool to see that, hey, I just did this and this is actually happening in the background while I'm doing this other thing. You know what I mean? And I don't know, I geeked out about that little tidbit, and it just it amplified the game like even more. But one reservation I had was whether or not they were going to make this DLC free, and they did. So I was like, all right, cool. So I'll definitely be downloading that, and I think it comes out like a few days. Yeah, about 5 days from now. So I'll definitely be playing that here in the future.
Nice.
So it's not
But yeah,
just VR?
No,
So
not that one. That one is there's the VR mode, and then Separate Ways is like a
Okay.
DLC to the regular.
Yeah, it's kind of like how they did Resident Evil
version.
7. Like 7 was VR at first, and then they made it like non-VR. Or no, I think they made them both, but then I don't think Resident Evil 7 ever did a 3D or third-person perspective. I know with 8 they had a first-person's perspective, and then they had a third-person perspective, and then they did a VR mode. And
Oh, I
then
thought
Resident
7 and 8 were all first person. I didn't know there was a
yeah,
person version.
with 7 I don't think there was with 7, but for 8 they made that like maybe 8 months before Resident Evil 4 came out, because obviously they're all in the same engine, and they, were able to make that work. Which it was, I just played so much of 8, and when I finally platinumed 8, I was like, okay, I'm good. It's one of those games where, like, I probably played through that game 4 times, I say, just because you have to do it that way on the platinum. But anyway, yeah, the VR mode, that one's cool. If you wanna do it again and experiment with different things, I probably won't mess with that. Just, well, one, I don't have a VR, and then even if I did, I would be experiencing the same thing, just in a different way.
Yeah, I mean the intensity ramps up, dude. Like, cause I like Batman Arkham VR scared the crap out of me. Killer Croc jumped in my face. I almost shit my
Oh.
pants. It's like I can't imagine trying to play a game that's like actually supposed to be scary. So not for me. I don't
That
think my
is
heart
true.
can take it.
That is true. And there was, yeah, there was. I guess because I knew what to expect on that one, but they did throw in some curveballs. Like if you play the original, and as much as I played the original, and then I went to go, they changed the layout, not completely, but they added, maybe an area here, or they changed the turn of this area, over here, whatever. And so, anyway, the first time I played the remake I definitely did have a few scares, but also I think, yeah, you're right. In VR, I think it would be a completely different experience now that you think about
Yeah.
it, especially with the chainsaw, dude.
See, yeah,
I
that
told
kind
you
of
guys the
stuff.
stories about that, right?
That
I
kind
told
of
you guys the
stuff.
stories about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, so that probably would happen again. So
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. All
uh,
right, what's next?
yeah, so
Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora.
Pass.
I don't know about you guys. I'm not a big fan of the Avatar movies to begin with.
Nope. I don't get it.
And an open world game probably is not going to catch my interest for something that I don't care about.
Nope.
There was Ghost Runner 2, which I haven't played the first one. Helldivers 2, which actually looked kind of cool. I don't know what you guys thought about that one.
Pass.
I Ghost Runners
Pass.
2. I think my wife wanted me to play the first one. I just never did. And then I never even played the first one with Helldivers. I kind of looked at the title and I was like,
Yeah, Ghost Runner,
Yeah.
I think I have the first one, but I have not played it. So I'm not much help in the opinion sector with that one either. Spider-Man 2 looks amazing. Definitely
Yeah,
gonna get
I
it.
think they've showed enough though. Like, either you're sold on it
Yeah,
by
I
now.
didn't watch. I was sold on it from the moment it was announced.
Yeah.
You know, it's like because I really enjoyed the previous two.
Yeah.
So-
I almost want to go buy a PS5 just for this game, but I know it's going to come out on PC.
You probably
so
should.
Not going to spend $500 for one
they
game.
have a.
Not doing it.
Well, they do.
Well,
have
you
a
do that for
Spider-Man
these
edition.
old ass Zelda games. So
It's different.
it's an investment.
Yes. Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like I missed. That's a whole nostalgia childhood thing I'm going through right
Yeah,
now.
no,
It's like my
gotcha,
3/4
100%.
or my, what do I call it? 1/3 midlife crisis right now. I don't know. But it's going to come out on PC anyways. So I might as well just play it on PC when it comes out. That's why I bought a $1,200 PC.
True.
Yeah.
Well,
if you do buy a PlayStation 5, there is a pretty cool looking PS5. I think it's black. It's like black. No, well, I guess it's mainly
it's
black.
red and
with,
black,
like-
isn't it?
Yeah, it's red and black. So I think the theme behind it is it was supposed to be red, but then the black part is like Venom taking over.
Yeah.
So it's mainly
yes.
black with like a little bit of red. So it is pretty cool.
They have the same thing
So
with the controller.
Yeah.
I am super excited about, you can swap the characters on the fly. If you're one character and you're fighting, the other one can just swing in and do an assist, which I think is like super
Yeah.
awesome. I'm excited about the story.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm super stoked for that game. Tales of Arise Beyond the Dawn. I'm pretty sure that was a JRPG. I don't really have any interest in that one.
Nope.
Honkai Honkai Star Rail. Sorry, Mikey, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I probably don't have any other interests other than like the Final Fantasy VII.
No, gotcha. And then there's Foam Stars, which is a Splatoon ripoff, 100%. I mean, you can't watch that and not think, okay, they just ripped off Splatoon. And Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, cannot wait. On 2 discs, coming out February 29th.
When's the collector edition coming out,
Cannot
Dave?
wait. Same day. It's the release date for the game.
When's it gonna
So
get
anyway,
to your house?
there's like, so the collector's edition, right? $350 exclusive to the Square Enix store. Right, it comes with the deluxe edition, which has a steelbook, soundtrack, art book, a couple DLC things, and then there's this humongous like Sephiroth statue. Yeah. So, what do you think? Do you guys think I pre-ordered it
No.
or what?
You didn't, because I
don't
fought
think
you
I
for
did?
2 years to pre-order the first one, and you wouldn't do it. Why would you do it this time? And if you did do it this time, then you got to go back and get the first one, which you're gonna have to go to a secondary market and pay twice as much. So no, you didn't get it. I know you didn't get it.
Here's the difference between the two, right? So both collector's edition for remake and now rebirth, right? It's essentially the deluxe version of the game packaged with some big like figure or statue, right? Now the difference between the two is the one for remake was a figure, like a posable, figure, which I don't have any interest in that. I prefer statues. So for this one, yes,
What the
I
hell's the
did
difference?
pre-order it. I did pre-order it.
I'm good. Does it come with a game? Because I know a lot of these don't come with a game.
No, it does. It does.
Disc?
2 discs,
Okay.
physical. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that kind of annoys me because the Spider-Man is doing that as well, I think.
What?
So they'll give you the steel book
No game.
and with just the code in it. And it's like, well, then why even bother with the damn steel
Yeah.
book?
Well, what is
Oh,
this?
to put on your shelf. It's like, but there's no game in it.
Yeah.
God of War Ragnarok did the same thing.
I hate that.
Yeah, it's super annoying. So then I have to end up buying a different physical copy just to put the disc inside the steelbook.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, when is Modern Warfare 3 coming out?
November sometime. Why? You gonna tell us to buy it and not play it again?
Well, no, I'm going to get it for the campaign.
Yeah.
You guys know that I've always been there for the campaign. I'm there for the campaign.
Yeah, but you got onto a text thread with the two of us and said, "Hey, let's get COD," and so then we can all play together. And I was like, "All right." I reluctantly bought it so we could hang out because I know Mike already had it. And then it's just Mikey and I playing. We just played it last week together.
Well, you guys are playing Warzone or whatever.
No, we done multiplayer and DMZ.
No, I want there's the story stuff that I wanted to play. Well, I'm telling you guys, I wouldn't be any good at the competitive stuff.
Well, not like that, you're not.
But yeah.
Who says we're any good? Apparently in this new mode, you kill people,
right.
and then you like res them, and then they go back, and then they're on your team. I don't get it. I didn't like it. If I kill you, I'm going to teabag you unless you rot. But whatever. It's a new time. But all right, that was it, right? That was the end. Well, how do you feel about the Rebirth? Not just the collector's edition, but are you excited with the everything they've shown you?
I'm super excited, man. So the trailer, right? That was by far the biggest trailer that they showed us of Rebirth. And the thing is with these trailers, if you're looking at it through eyes that have not played the original, and I'm not talking just remake, but the original game, if you're looking at it through eyes that hasn't played the original, you have no idea what's going on in this trailer. All it looks like is a bunch of noise and jumbled, mess and action. And you're like, I have no idea what's happening right now. So I don't know. I don't think that trailer would draw anybody new in. But for people who've already played the original, yeah, that's going to pull them in because it looks amazing. I can't wait. I showed the trailer to my wife, and she was looking at it like, I have no idea what I'm watching right now.
Yeah. Well, so because the only I didn't play the remake. The last time I played 7 was I watched my brother play it on the PlayStation 1 as a kid. So with the remake and then Rebirth, what is the difference?
So remake is the first part of a trilogy, and Rebirth is the second part of that trilogy. So, Mikey, it would probably behoove you to pre-order the bundle, the remake Rebirth bundle, in which case you could play remake right now if you pre-ordered it through the PlayStation Store.
Or why don't you just mail them the copy you mailed me and I mailed it back?
I don't know where it is.
Some collector you are.
Well, I already have. Dude, I have my copy of Remake. I have my copy of Remake Intergrade, which is the expanded PS5
but do you know
version.
where it's at?
Yeah, I know where those ones are. I don't know where my extra copy is. I sent it to him to get rid of it.
I sent it back. I thought the game was terrible.
Yeah, you threw the 2 Game Boy games away and then sent back the Final Fantasy.
I still give my wife shit about that. Oh, man. That's funny.
That's so funny. So
no,
okay,
I have a tub in the garage that has all my extra game stuff in it, so that's probably where it's at. I can dig it out and send it to you, but it's the PS4 version. You'd probably be better off getting the PS5 version.
Yeah, I'll probably end up doing that. Because then the one that I fell in love, which I'm sure, well, I can't say that it's controversial because I think there was a lot of good feedback with that game, but like Final Fantasy X, and then I never finished 10-2 because me and my brother played Final Fantasy X or X, whatever, and that was, I felt like that was a really fun game. And then 10-2 was fun as well, but I got stuck in a part and I got mad and gave up.
That's spirit.
But so
I enjoyed 10-2.
Did you play it all the way through, or?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Did so for the remake, and then of course the rebirth. Well, you don't know about the rebirth yet, but with the remake, was it pretty? I heard it was like subtle differences. Is that
So
pretty accurate?
Yep.
what you got to think about these as is more of a sequel to the original than an actual. And I don't want to spoil anything because there are story beats that have changed.
Okay.
And I obviously don't want to go
Well,
through everything. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, heaven forbid, because it's an awesome game and it deserves to be played, and experienced firsthand. But I think I've said that before, but it is definitely, it still carries the heart of the original Final Fantasy VII, but remake, say for instance, the first part of this, trilogy or whatever it's going to be, only takes place up to you leaving Midgar, and things are a lot different by the end of that game than they were in the original. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a weird kind of sequel almost, as opposed to just a straight up one for one remake. Because there is stuff that is like vastly different. But it's good. It's awesome.
Okay.
So I do have in the chat they're saying the PS4 version is a free upgrade to PS5. So you might just take a PS4 version and throw it in your PS5. It is, cheaper.
But Intergrade, the add-on, isn't free. The upgrade to PS5 is free, but the add-on Intergrade is not, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that needed?
I mean, it's a piece of the story. It's part of the story. It's like a whole smaller campaign. It's like 2 campaign sections, which were good. I liked it.
I'll have to. I think probably what I'll do just to get, and with the remake, didn't they leave out the dude with I can't remember his name, but didn't they leave Axel or something like that? But the guy with the machine gun arm, didn't they leave him out or something?
No, he's a huge part of it.
Or did they kill him off early? I thought they.
You're talking about Barrett? You're talking about Barrett?
Yeah, with the machine gun hand. That's all I remember.
I don't think they changed anything about him. He seems almost exactly the same as he did in the one game.
Well, not about him, but just like his story and like his arc, I guess. Like, because he dies, doesn't he?
Oh my God! Spoilers.
You're.
That game is 30 years old, Chris.
Yeah, but not remake. Remake is only 6 years old.
I'll still get upset if you spoil it for me.
Yeah, he will. He's weird like that.
He spoiled Aliens for me back in 2019.
Yeah, a movie from 1986 I spoiled for him.
And I was like watching it at like 15-minute chunks at a time because I don't know, I kept getting interrupted. I kept falling asleep. But yeah. I did finish it.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna ruin this for you too, Chris. Yeah. Super Mario, he saves the princess.
Super Mario is not the same tier level as Final Fantasy VII. All right, so there are story. Look, I've already told you there are things that change and remake that didn't happen in the original. All right, so I mean that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
That's what I was told. Yeah, I'll probably because I got that premium plus subscription, so I'll probably play that on my downtime, and then I'll play the remake, and then try to eventually get to Rebirth. I'm sure if I play 7, I'll be interested in remake, and then from there it'll just be a rabbit hole. So
yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
Did yeah.
I'm super excited for Rebirth, man. I can't wait. And of course, it's going to come out when I'm in the middle of a big move.
Yep, that sucks. But as soon as you get to your destination, it'll be go time.
Yeah, I'll have to completely get off social media so nobody spoils anything for me.
Yeah. All right.
Oh well.
Any last thoughts? Anything we want to bring up we didn't talk about? Any predictions for the future?
What is there anything coming out you guys are looking forward to?
Oh,
I mean, aside from Spider-Man or
Assassin's Creed Mirage. that's coming out.
Yes, that comes out
little
beginning
less than
of
a month.
October.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm considering
That's
to
one-
pre-order it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. I don't know.
That one's on my
Wow.
list. For sure. This game called Banishers.
I heard of it. Remind me about it.
I'm looking forward to that. I was tempted to buy the collector's edition, but I'm glad that I didn't because I went for the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth one instead.
Gotcha.
And then, obviously Spider-Man. I think those are the big ones that I'm looking forward to that are coming out.
Yeah.
Maybe a Switch game or two coming up. Oh yeah, the Super Mario RPG, obviously, but of course you guys don't have a very high opinion of that one.
No, I already have it.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see what they're going to do with zombies with Modern Warfare 3. I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, but that's probably going to be a
zombies
big...
are coming back.
Yeah, so obviously there's a bunch of leaks and stuff, but someone was saying that it's going to be, so if you haven't played the DMZ mode, do you kind of know what it's about, Dave, or not really?
I mean, isn't it like a Warzone type thing?
Yes and no.
Don't you have to exfil or something like that?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? DMZ is the one where you got to do whatever your objective is and then get to the exfil chopper.
Yeah. So
or am I mistaken?
Infill, you can. No, that's pretty much it. Like you infill, you can complete contracts and then exfil right away. If you want to go kill other players and kill AIs and take over strongholds and stuff like that, you can. Loot. There's missions that you can complete like on the main menu. You can select missions to complete in game, like while at the main menu. And of course, there's more like loot and stuff like that you unlock by completing those missions. And so, really fun game. So picking it up at first, I was like, man, this is really cool. But then it got stale after about, say 2 weeks to a month. It got kind of stale because you ran out of things to do. And it got frustrating because if you went down, there was no way to like secure your weapons or whatever. Just got a little stale. But so then obviously they updated over time. Got really fun. You can upgrade stuff. You can have more weapons available to you. You can, just upgrades. Well, so what they're saying with zombies is, and this is just like based on a YouTube short that I saw yesterday. So take this with a complete big grain of salt. But they were saying that so there's 6 teams of, or was it 6 teams of 6 or 4 teams of 6? Either way, I think 24 players. So however many teams that is. Or no, it was. You start off in teams of 3, but you can pair up and get teams of up to 6. But 24 players total. That's what it was. And then you kill zombies. You can still complete objectives and stuff like that. And this is where it kind of gets a little like I don't know how true this is. But they were saying that if you see enemy players can't kill each other. They can't like touch each other. I think they can disrupt the other players to where like, hey, you can attract zombies to other players, but you can't actually like shoot each other, which I thought was kind of weird. I'm not opposed to that because I don't want to go in trying to play zombies and then I'm getting disrupted by other players. Because if I wanted to play a game like that, I would play Warzone or DMZ. But they said there's going to be perks. Yeah, I don't know. If they're going to have a game mode like that, like make something separate. But, because I don't know, like it's hard, like the zombies can already be, if you go up and you are doing certain things, it can be hard as it is. And then you just throw in the PvP factor of it, then it can be even more frustrating. But who knows? It looks like it's going to be pretty fun. Well, it sounds pretty fun. I said the same. It looked, when I first saw Call of Duty Vanguard's zombies, I thought it looked like it was going to be really cool. And then, of course, that was a complete flop. So, looks are deceiving. So, But yeah, that's that one. I think all the major games came out. Yeah, that's really all I'm kind of looking forward to in the near future, anyway.
I got you.
Nice. Yeah, I don't have anything else really looking forward to. I'm really diving into the older games right now pretty hard since I don't know, invested so much into it. I might as well get through them all, not just be sitting on my shelves, actually play through them. But yeah. All right. You all got anything else you want to touch before we send it off?
No, I'm just I'm probably about to go play some Majora's Mask in a little bit. Actually,
I'm gonna go right to
'cause,
bed.
I mean, yeah, my time zone. I still have like my whole day ahead of me. So
Unfortunately, I don't. So, all right, Mike, you got anything?
Yeah. No, I'm good, man. I'm glad we got to finally get a podcast going together.
Yeah, we got to do this more often. So,
yeah,
all right,
you know
guys.
we say that every time. We
We
don't even know
do.
what number we're on.
I did. This was 13. I double checked it
Oh,
out.
was it?
Yeah, we're on
13 question mark.
Nice.
Yeah, basically. We're gonna say 13 because it's my channel and I do what I want. I can name it whatever I want.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
For
all right.
all we know, it's 26.
Maybe.
Yeah. Right.
All right, everyone. Thanks for coming. Thanks for chatting it up with us. Like I see you running me through, came through. Let's see. Casual came through. Who else stopped by? Ricky. Good to see you, Ricky. And Crispy. And if I miss you, I'm sorry. Or you just were lurking and didn't comment. That's fine too. Thanks for being here. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Tater tots.